Donald Trump has said that he can solve all the world's problems in his latest address in China. During his speech, the president stated that current meetings with President Xi Jinping were absolutely terrific as the world leaders discuss issues of North Korea and trade. Trump said, "There can be no more important subject than China-US relations. I look forward to many years of success and friendship. I believe we can solve almost all of the world's problems and probably all of them." On issues of trade, the firebrand Republican stated, past administrations allowed it to get so far out of kilter, indicating he is set to take a more aggressive stance in remedying the imbalance between the two superpowers. The president was positive about his relationship with Mr. Jinping by describing the two as having great chemistry. The Chinese leader stated that the two nations have made important progress this year and declared he believes there is a solution to that with regard to diffusing threats imposed by North Korea. North Korea and trade are set to be the highest matters on the meeting agenda for the U.S. president. The former has been a key theme with his two prior meetings with leaders in South Korea and Japan. The news of the positive start made by the president comes after experts recently stated that his demands for China to toughen its stance on North Korea will lead to no substantial progress on de-escalating World War III threats from the nuclear-armed regime. The U.S. leader landed in Beijing yesterday for talks with the Asian superpower, including how to avert nuclear conflict on the Korean peninsula. White House officials said Mr. Trump will ask Mr. Xi to make good on his commitments to UN sanctions aimed at squeezing the cash flow to Kim Jong-un's regime and stopping the tyrant's pursuit of more powerful nuclear weapons. But experts say although the Chinese premier is likely to lavish the president with praise and lay on an elaborate state visit, China will ultimately reject his demands. Shending Lai, professor of international studies at Shanghai's Fudan University, said as far as Beijing is concerned, Mr. Trump's trip is more about show than substance. He told The Times, "For North Korea, there won't be any substantial progress. It will be brought up but nothing will come out of it. And the North Korean nuclear issue is one single problem that will hurt U.S.-China relations." Mr. Trump was treated to a personal tour of Beijing's Forbidden City by Mr. Xi on the first day of his stopover in China yesterday. But Mr. Shen added the preferential treatment was just part of a show of Chinese culture aimed at building mutual respect, rather than a signal the Chinese leader is willing to agree to any of the president's demands. Ahead of Mr. Trump's arrival in the Chinese capital, a senior White House official told reporters on Air Force One the president would ask Mr. Xi to commit to continue enforcing international sanctions against the rogue state. The official said during the bilateral talks, Mr. Trump would ask China cut all financial links with Kim's oppressive regime. But Beijing said it was already fully and strictly upholding UN sanctions, which are aimed at restricting Kim's cash flow and hampering his nuclear weapons program. And Shi Yinhong, professor of international studies at Renmin University in the Chinese capital, said Beijing would be unwilling to toughen its stance any further. He said, "China's sanctions against Pyongyang have been unprecedented in terms of scope and severity, and now China no longer has the capability, nor the willingness, to further sanction North Korea."